Hey. Hmm. Yo. Hmm. We're just gonna wait for some people to get in here real quick, and we will start our analysis. How things are looking today. I'm just gonna say, guys, things are looking pretty crazy. Pretty crazy right off the bat. Hola. What's up, Camille? What is up? What is up? Alrighty. Let's see how many people we got in here, guys. How many people we got in here? Let's see. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna jump right into things, and I'm just gonna say things aren't looking too shabby whatsoever. We do have, a pretty crazy day to talk about here. We did end up breaking up out of that consolidation. We had two back-to-back inside days, and now we are back above these short-term moving averages. So we're just gonna run through things pretty quick. We're gonna shoot it with, a little 10-minute live stream here. Guys, things aren't looking bad at all. All right, so we're going to start off here on SPY. Start off on the hourly time frame. So right off open, guys, we did end up breaking up out of that downtrend. And we shot right up into our supply zone, the 573.36 to 574.71 supply zone we were paying attention to. That was our little confluence spot up there. You also did have, the daily 9 EMA as well as the daily 21 EMA right above there. And as we can all see, you did get a daily close above there off of what looks like to be increasing volume. Not looking too bad. Hey, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it, Jason. I'm glad you are enjoying the analysis and it is benefiting your trading. That is really the only goal here of this channel. So I appreciate that you were sharing your success you're having with it. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So hourly time frame, as we could see, in the after hours, we are up a little bit. You can see that, over here on NQ. You had one bull flag earlier, broke out of that guy. You had the second, little fallen wedge bull flag over here. Appreciate your like, Chuck. I appreciate you. And, I'm just going to say, guys, judging by the daily time frame, this thing looks like it's going to continue going. All right. So, back to over here on SPY, guys. A little support and resistance. We're going to do it on the hourly time frame here. All right. So resistance, I do see we're, above it by about $1 in the after hours. But resistance is 576.43 and then 578.54. That is the confluence spot that we are watching above here. Hey, shout out from El Paso. I love it. Love it, man. Love it. Appreciate you guys. Really do. But, as we see, guys, we did flip this into a demand zone over here. So this was supply we were paying attention to, as we could see here on the daily time frame. We got underneath it. We rejected here. And now we're above it. We were watching for a price to get back above here and then get back above these short-term moving averages for us to start looking for a move back up. I do think that is going to be the case. I do think we are starting to move back up. I think it's, something similar to over here. We pointed out that we had two back-to-back inside days. We don't typically get a third inside day, but, I was saying, it's either going to happen today or tomorrow. We're going to be breaking out of that consolidation, getting our next decent-sized move. I pointed out in yesterday's video that we looked very similar to this day right over here, where you slid lower the next day and then you started your rebound. That was the bias that I was coming in today with, but then you also had this going on here. You broke out of your downtrend, and then if you come over to QQQ, you actually had the same exact look over here. I was watching the 15-minute. You just kind of gapped above it and then went. All right, so as far as support and resistance goes over here in SPY, guys, we're really just going to be watching 578.54. If you can get above there, guys, we really got nothing really until all the way up here towards 581. And then above there, we're going to be, honestly, just watching over there. We'll use the daily time frame for this. We're going to be watching right there. We're going to use the open right over there. 4-hour resistance, I guess we could say right here. Yeah, we'll use the high over there. We're gonna mark out the high. All right. Honestly, that satisfies me right there. We're gonna leave it at that. All right. So resistance is gonna be 578.54, 581.29, 583.32, and 586.12. Support, guys. We're just gonna be watching this demand zone over here, 573.36 to 574.71. I do think it's gonna hold if we come back and retest it. That's where I'm looking for buyers to step back into the mix. Coming over here to QQQ, guys, we are not looking too bad over here. I know we got a lot of levels over here. Above 492.23, we're watching this supply zone, all right? SPY and QQ both have their separate supply zones. They're both little pieces of our puzzle, all right? So this one is 493.85 to 495.01. Get above there. We can see there's really nothing, but, you know, I will remind everyone, we did break down for this parallel channel. And this supply zone aligns with that parallel channel. So, you know, it is just going to be a back test until proven otherwise. We want to see a daily close above this trend line. All right. And from that point, we can start pushing 501.01 and then 503.52. But, you know, really, as you could see, we had this, you know, pretty much a 4-day range over here. So, you know, bottom of the range is down here around 495. Top of the range was not near that 501 level. So not much. Get above, you know, 493. Not 493. Get above 495.01, and we're probably going to start moving back up. All right. Not looking too bad at all, guys. Not looking too bad. Support, we're going to be watching 490.75, 489.44, 487.57. Until those are taken out, we're not going to talk about any more downside because, as we just mentioned, we had these back-to-back inside days after a big sell. We were looking for a breakout from that little range. We were looking for that, you know, tension right there on these charts to release itself over the next 1 to 2 trading sessions. We have now gotten that, and I do think it's going to continue higher. Excuse me, I was just eating sausages, spicy sausages, and yeah, they're spicy. Still got one right next to me. Made a little sandwich with it. All right, guys, so moving over here to IWM, I did take off my levels on this chart. Why? Because I just want to point out this really clear picture right here. We did have that falling wedge. We're watching that was, I think it was like that. Yeah, so we did end up breaking down from that. Now we have something new to pay attention to, guys. We do have this ascending wedge over here, ascending wedge, ascending pennant, whatever you want to look at this as. It is bullish. All right, so on the weekly time frame, we can see this thing is, you know, getting real tight over here. You're at the apex of this little triangle, and it looks like you're about to snap up. If you snap up, we're just going to say you're probably going to start pushing towards this level over here that I just marked out. All right, that's around 234. I guess you could actually be paying attention right over there. All right, 233.64. So that is what we're going to be paying attention to. And then, you know, aside from that, you're going to have this high over here, which is 229.84. All right, I am looking for this thing to continue ripping up here. You are holding the weekly 9 over here. You're getting to that apex of this, you know, little ascending triangle we got going on. Above 226.64, things get pretty interesting. We're going to mark this area out with a zone here. We'll go just like that. Above there, we have 229.84 and then 233.64. Now, let's say price pulls back. We're going to watch yesterday's high. And then we're going to watch this level over here. All right, 222.97 and then 221.74. Now, we do have the rate hike decision coming out on Thursday. So I'm sure that is going to be moving it. We'll be paying close attention over here on IWM. DIA, guys, you did start pushing back up today. You are right here at your daily 9 and daily 21, as well as your 422.78 resistance. Me, honestly, after, you know, how everything just closed, it does look like, you know, we're probably going to be getting back over there. But you do have to get back over the short-term, you know, moving averages here for momentum to return into the stock. Well, it's not stock, but this ticker, all right, the Dow Jones. Above, excuse-moi, above 422.78, we have 426.20, and that's really all we're going to pay attention to over here. I don't trade this thing, so we don't talk about it too much over there. NVIDIA 145, I agree. I do agree there. All right, VIX, guys, you did stall right out here at our, you know, cup and handle neckline over there. And I don't really know what's going to happen here. You're now down at 2047. This is where you just broke up from. Had that big move. Excuse me again. Under here, guys, we're just going to be, you know, coming back down. Over here, we have this weekly trend line that we can pay attention to here, but you break that, all right, break under 1806 here. It's not going to look good on VIX, guys. It's really not going to look good at all. We're probably going to be seeing a crush. Now, I will point out, all right, 15-minute RSI got really oversold yesterday. If you see this thing undercut this low over here, so we're going to mark it out here, undercut 2020. If you see a higher high over here, a solid shot, you're going to at least get, a little dead cat bounce over here. And then we get a pullback on the indices. So, it wouldn't surprise me if that came right when QQ pushed up into here. And then you pulled back maybe to here. All right. So that would be, tapping that 493.85 to 495.01 supply zone and then pulling back to either 492.23 support or all the way back over here to where you broke out today, which is at 490.75. All right, so that is what we're paying attention to. Now we're just going to look at some individual tickers here. We got the Fang stocks, the big boys over here. Tesla, guys, it did end up bouncing back today. I was thinking things looked really good off the open yesterday. You had this nice green hammer candlestick, rejected right at the daily 9. Now you're above it. You got to close above it. I think it's probably going to start pushing. But at the end of the day, guys, this is going to depend on if Donald Trump gets elected or not. Because if he does not, this thing is probably going to fade. If he does, this thing probably goes straight to $300. That's how I'm looking at Tesla over here. All right. I can almost guarantee big money is going to flood into this thing if, Donald Trump wins, because Elon is now going to be a very big part of that, cabinet there. It's going to be a big thing. So, whether you like the guy or not, this is his stock. This is his company. If he is in charge and running things, and he has any say in the government whatsoever, if he gets in that position, this thing probably runs straight to $300 and, potentially higher. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to move. But, that is, I'll put 95 odds on that guy. Trump gets elected, Tesla runs, as well as Bitcoin, guys. So we got that, guys. Apple did end up breaking down from that fallen wedge the other day, and you are now just consolidating over here on 221.33 support. All right, if you push back up to 227.76, we're going to look for sellers to step in there. Why do we have two levels over here? I honestly have no idea. I don't know why that 228 is there. I really don't know. Oh, it's showing this guy, maybe? That. Did Daily 9 do that? No, it doesn't. It was just that one. MAGA, let's go. Honestly, guys, I'm just sick of seeing, people just call each other names and shit like that. There are smart people on both sides, and I got people in my family that I may not agree with them, but 100%. I mean, I'm not gonna call my family dumb or anything like that. These guys, some of these guys make above 200K. There's no reason to say these things about people like that, and I may not agree with things, but I'm really just I'm getting sick and tired of just everyone arguing over there on social media. And someone just said something about Trump inciting violence. I think that's a dumb perspective, and this is just my personal opinion there. I'll explain why right now. Guys, the guy's been shot 2 times. It's an extremely dumb perspective to say the guy who's been shot 2 times and the other one hasn't is the one inciting violence. It's extremely stupid. I'm not calling the person stupid. I'm saying it is a very dumb perspective to even talk about that. You could have other talking points, but that right there is very stupid. One got shot twice. One did not. It is not the guy who got shot twice that is inciting violence. Is the one calling him Hitler and then making all the old people think that he hates women. I had someone come into work the other day, and I'm not even sharing my view there, but she asked about it. And, she was like, "Are you voting?" I was like, "Gonna get," she told me she voted for Trump. I'm like, "You're gonna get mad if I tell you, And I was like, that. I said Trump. And she was like, "That guy hates women." And I'm like, what? No, that is not how that is. I don't think so, at least. I think that's how the media is, painting that narrative. But again, there's one side not inciting violence, and there's definitely one that was a direct influence on someone getting shot twice. That's ridiculous. All right, enough politics out of me, guys. I'm sick and tired of it, and I hope it ends, this week. And then within 6 months, everyone's going to forget about it, and we're all going to be on Team America again, because at the end of the day, people are calling the other half of America stupid. Guys, there's 50% of America on each side. It's stupid. All right? And not one side is not right, one side is not wrong. It's the media. I'm going to be straight up. It's the media. It feeds you what you want to see, and it brings it to extremes. So forget about it. All right, Apple guys, we're still watching down over here if it does decide to slide, but look for 227.76 as resistance over there. Amazon, how we looking, guys? I think you're heading up to that 200 sell wall tomorrow with how it looks at it. That doesn't have to be how it goes, but you did find buyers off the break and retest level at 195.37. Coming over to Goo, guys, you're still finding buyers here. You're not getting a big reaction like Amazon over there. But you are still right at this confluence spot. I'm liking it up to 175.91. Above there, 178.42, 183.79. Microsoft, how we looking, guys? You found sellers a second time over here, back to back when you test this trend line. You found sellers there, guys. That was your head and shoulders neckline. And, until you can get back above there, we're going to say get above this 416.16 level. You're probably not going to be seeing too much out of Microsoft. All right. There are things that are above these short-term moving averages, and Microsoft is not one of them. Meta, how are we looking, guys? All right. I was really hoping we would be seeing that pullback over here, 542.81. It doesn't look like we're getting it, in the market. If it starts just moving back up out of nowhere, I can say out of nowhere, but, I was hoping for a bigger pullback here. Meta's probably going to push back up these highs. You're right here on the weekly 9, not the worst look. You're kind of finding buyers there 3 weeks in a row. Depending how you print this weekly candlestick, we're probably going to start pushing back up to the highs. We will see. Mahal wins, market dumps, then pump. Yeah, honestly, I don't really know what's going to happen. All I know, guys, is this chart right here. 100%. If Trump gets elected, this chart goes crazy. We're going to see Bitcoin push all-time highs. You're going to see CLSK go. You're definitely going to see coin go. You're definitely going to see MSTR go. And then, Mar over here is probably going to follow suit over there as well. All right. It's not looking too bad. But, I think this is MSTR and coin are the ones that are really going to be going with this thing. Coin alone, buyers, within 20 cents of our 176.15 break and retest level down there. We had the uptrend right below it, and then we also had our golden pocket starting right there. You did find buyers right there, and now you're pumping back up. We will see how this goes. You are currently, finding sellers right there at the daily 21 in the daily 9. Get above 194.60 tomorrow, and we could talk about it. But, again, I think these Bitcoin stocks are really just going to wait until what happens with this election. If Kamala wins, this thing's probably going to sell the news. Trump wins, you probably buy the news. That's how I see it going. So that is that. Bitcoin predicting the future with that break and retest already. Yeah, honestly, I'm not going to say this chart looks bad at all. It looks pretty great. This bull flag breakout over here. All right, you want to see something that looked pretty similar on like a 5-minute chart and see how that one went? It was Nasdaq today. All right, there you go. That is pretty much Bitcoin in a nutshell. We're kind of right here in this phase. And then just wait. Just wait. All right, so that is that. We're now going to come over here to the chips, and we're going to close things off with that. All right, coming over the daily time frame, guys. SMH is right there at the daily 21 and the daily 9, as well as the 248.20 level that you did kind of start breaking down. Like, you had a pretty wicked sell down through it once you gap down underneath it. It's definitely going to be a key spot there. But nonetheless, I care more about these short-term moving averages, guys. We were talking about them. You got to get above these things in order to see short-term momentum return back into these things. And, as you could see, when you do it, maybe dance around it for a little, but that is when your short-term momentum really comes in. You can play short-dated calls, and, it's not the riskiest thing in the world. So I say patience is a virtue, especially in this market, and you're going to have a good time. The video over here, guys, you are pushing back up. You did not hit our 131.26 level. That alert was not triggered, but you got very close to it. And, I'm just going to say, if the overall market pushes up into the end of the week here, this thing's going to go to a new high. Yes, someone literally said it earlier. Look back. Humberto, I got you. NVIDIA to 145. That is probably going to be how this goes over the next few trading sessions. I am with you. But you come over here, I say TSM is definitely something that has not gone yet. You are still in this bull flag right here after, pulling back in a very controlled manner over here to this weekly break and retest level right there. You got this zone, you got the weekly 9 here. I think it's looking absolutely phenomenal for, a breakout of this, a little parallel channel / bull flag. And then you start pushing up to 201.97, 205.95, and then 212.60. That is personally, this is the chip I'm watching over here. All right. Worst case scenario would be delayed or contested election, bring uncertainty. I'm gonna be honest, dude. If Kamal wins, I think maybe you do see some more upside and we get a new all-time high, but I think that move gets faded. I don't think you're gonna have some massive move. There is one that's literally saying he's gonna make Bitcoin the you know pretty much America the Bitcoin leader of the world. We want to produce it here. He keeps saying produce it. You don't produce Bitcoin, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. He doesn't know what he's talking about, I don't think. But he's definitely running off it, and I think there's one that's gonna get behind this thing, and then one that's not. So no political bias there. I'm just saying there is one that is running off of it, and then there's one that's not. The chances are, the one that's running off of it, you're gonna start an actual bull run, a bull push. Whereas the other one, maybe you get a pop and a drop. Kind of how I would see it. The other person, we got nothing saying she's going to support it. All right. Other than that, like, you get the president supporting Bitcoin. You're going to have so many freaking institutions trying to buy into that thing. And then if you don't, we have what we have right now. There's no new buyers there. So there's that. I think politics might cloud your judgment. What are you talking about, dude? I just told you how, I'm sick of all of this and I wanted to go over and how there's good people on both sides and people are just name calling like little pansies. And, you want to say that? No. All right. I'm telling you right now, it can look bullish all you want, but, there's one running off of it. I'm just telling you how it's likely going to go. There's one running off of it. If that person gets elected, you have every institution, their mother now saying, oh, it's probably going higher. All right. It's clear as day. Like they will probably be like right now. Let's look at it this way. You've been in this range for a very long time. You need a new reason for buyers to step in here. That's really what I'm going to say. Yes, FOMO can, be a factor here, but there is a reason you have not broken in here. You had a massive push here. All right. And everyone was really happy about Bitcoin, but then you consolidated for, 2/3 of a year. You need a catalyst to bring new buyers into the equation. There needs to be buyers to push price up. And right now, you have the same exact people just trading it back and forth. You need the catalyst for new buyers. I'm speaking in reality. This is me being real. You need the catalyst for Sir Bitcoin. There you go, bud. All right. So that is that. Moving over here to Avgo. I also think this one that's not looking too bad over here on the weekly time frame. All right. You are kind of bouncing back right around this weekly 9 over there. You're holding your double bottom zone right there. But, reality, you're still underneath this thing. I want to honestly, get above 180.25. I want to see that. I think you honestly get a straight up push to 200. I think at that point we could ride short-term momentum. But, yes, cattle list. Let's bring in the cows. Yes. Coming over to AMD, guys, you are kind of holding that 0.786 fib. I think this thing is a troll here, but I will point out all this decreasing volume. There's less interest coming in down here. So chances are, I think they probably pump you up to, around 148.01 over here. And then maybe we determine if we go lower or not. But I do think we're probably about to see a pump over here in AMD to test the short-term moving average, which happens to align with 148.01. ARM over here, guys, broke down underneath this, head and shoulders neckline. It's not head and shoulders, but, you could see the same structure I'm looking at right here, right? You broke one uptrend we were paying attention to. You retested it, you came down. Now you have broken the second uptrend. I don't think it's looking the best. I would say this is probably one of the cheaper chip names right now. And I would personally like to see 132.80. All right. But, if we don't see that, hey, I'm not, I'm really not looking for anything crazy out of here. I'm not. This chart is an absolute mess. I'm not looking for crazy things out of ARM. MU over here, though, this thing is clearly seeing the strength in the chip sector. You do have decreasing volume on today's big green day here, 3.7% day. But, as you see, you fell underneath. You're finding buyers, finding buyers. And then, you fell underneath. That was the beginning of the end. All right. Came down for the lower high. You kind of have a head and shoulders pattern right here as well, if you see what I'm seeing. All right. Let me just mark that out. Right there. Okay. And now, kind of doing a retest, but, I'm going to say this thing ain't looking too bad at all. I like this thing above 106.32. We're going to be looking for a move up to 108.75 and then 111. You get back to 111, I think you're finally going to start your big move over here. Because you came up here, like you can see what I see. Now we actually will have a double bottom. If you get up here, like we have this bigger double bottom here, then you put in this little double bottom as like a kind of handle formation. Break above. It's the confluence error right here. That's what I'm getting at. Get above there. Probably do actually start pushing back up to 127, 130 ish up there. All right, guys, so that's pretty much all I want to go over here. Disney is looking, rather fantastic over here. You kind of did break that uptrend over the last few days, but, going into earnings, you do have this bull flag setup. I'm still going to say get above 97.57. That is probably when you start, a straight up push to 127. But you did get your breakout finally today, so that is certainly something to pay attention to. And, the only thing is that premiums are definitely juiced because you have earnings the day before that monthly OPEX of November. There's that. Boeing. Yes, we can check out Boeing. Let me just review a few more things over here, guys. Uber. Get above 75.40. It's not going to be looking too bad. You are going to have the, daily 90, daily 21 right there. Short-term moving average. You did break down from that uptrend. So, somewhere over here, we're probably going to see sellers step back in. But I'm going to say, not looking too bad here if you start getting back up above this area on the weekly time frame. Ultimately, though, you would like to see a move down here. That would be your discounted area. All right, TLT, I'm going to point out you are finally seeing buyers here. I think you're basing out. I think you break above 92.80, 92.98. You get a daily close above there. I think you actually start pushing back up to 93.86 and then 95.14. Guys, you are getting buyers stepping into this equation again. You have earnings right around the corner. I think this is getting ready for a larger move. I know you broke down from that little pennant we were paying attention to now, but now what happens if you go like that, guys? You have a bull flag. All right, going right into earnings, which reminds me of this bad boy over here, Upstart. You still have not gotten your breakout, but you continuously are finding buyers here at that lower trend line of this, flag formation. Then you look on the weekly time frame, you could see right where you're consolidating is at the previous high. This thing looks like, it's probably going to have a move up out of this flag and push back up to 57.40. And then you have your next leg up to 64.82. All right. And then eventually your high at 72.58. All right. Oklo, guys, is the last one I'm going to point out here. Actually, there's one more I'm going to put on your radar here because I am watching it as of today. It was a ticker request today, and I think it's worth keeping on our radar. All right, Oklo is bouncing back from this previous high over here, so you are finding buyers. That is a good sign. All right, I personally think this thing is going, it's going to have one more leg up. That's what I'm thinking here. But, if you get a larger pullback over here, yeah, I think that's going to be a major, buying opportunity over here, at least for a dead cat bounce. But at that point, this thing has proven that it can move. So if we do see, earnings really tank this thing, we're going to be paying attention to in this area. But, other than that, this is the buy zone. This is where you want to be paying attention to, is right in between that 1677 level and then 1880. Those are the only two levels I got on my chart up here. Why? Because those are the only two spots I was looking for buyers stepping in. It was going to be one or the other. It looks like it's 1880. All right, last one we're going to pay attention to over here. I'll go over Boeing before we go. But LLY. Why are we paying attention to this, guys? Every time you've had this daily RSI oversold, it is wound up getting bought up to new highs. So just know, no matter what path this takes in the short term here, we're looking for this thing to eventually get bought up to new highs. And, that means this is your long-term buying opportunity when you see things like this. Don't do anything you don't want to do. All right. No financial advice will be given here on this channel. But, as you could see, we are coming down to that, spot down here where we have found buyers for a decently long time here. All right. 2/3 of a year where we've stayed above there. And this is where you found support, every test there. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So buy zone 718.30 up to 747.55. From there, I think, you have a solid shot of getting a decent sized push here. 15% move. That happens to be like $100 from that area. So, right here is where I'm paying attention to. We'll put an alert on it right there. All right, guys, last thing we're going to talk about. If you guys got any ticker requests right now, now is your chance to, we went over Tesla earlier, dude. You just must have not have been in here. Let me know, guys. Ticker requests right now. I see SoFi. We see BA over here, guys. Like, this is why this thing is trolled. This is why I say, someone got mad that I called it garbage stock. I remember got hate on a Twitter post when I called it, like, this is a piece of garbage right now. When I say these things, all right, it's not saying the company's terrible. It's not saying the stock is really terrible. It's saying that this thing is in troll mode right now. AMD is a garbage stock. AMD trolls a lot. It was looking really nice. Really nice. You want to see how big of a troll AMD is? What happened? You got sucked into, you just broke out from years, not years, but, a year 2/3 of a year of consolidation, and you get sucked back into it, all the way back into it, troll. All right. What else is a troll? BA. Every single bullish setup we have gets faded. You never end up seeing, you move to an actual target, which, I always have as a golden pocket. If a thing is really going to get moving, it's going to get back into the golden pocket. Every single time we have a bullish setup over here on BA, this thing fades. So there's no point in touching this thing, guys. I call it plenty of things that you could be paying attention to that are actively traded here, that continuously have setups here. All right. Specifically right now, I pointed out TSM. I've definitely been hammering this one home. We were talking about it even before it started pulling back, as this was your buy area down here. Look for buyers to defend. There are a lot of things that continuously set up for us, and you don't have to be paying attention to the things that I will call garbage stocks, because they will continuously troll you. They go against technical analysis. You don't want to be with something that goes against technical analysis. It's your only edge in the market. You have that and news. And news on Boeing typically is bad. All right. So there's that. Now we will look at, someone mentioned Tesla. I did go over Tesla already. But you got back above this daily 9. I do think you are probably going to start pushing up. It is going to depend on Trump. Do you get Trump as president? Do you not? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now what happens. It matters after that. All right. We did just go over Upstart. We definitely went over Meta. Go back in the live stream to when I was covering the tickers that we cover every day. The Fang stocks were right after the indices. We went over Google. Go check that out as well. I'm not going to go back over that. What am I missing? Carvana. Go over Carvana. All right. Oh my God. This thing's a monster. This thing is a monster, guys. Honestly, Carvana's probably coming up to all-time highs, guys. There's really nothing to say about this, guys. Ride your momentum. That's all I'm going to say over here. It's very clearly still in a bull trend. You have not lost this daily 9 in, a month and a half. You're bullish until that happens. CLH, I do agree. That thing is a piece of garbage, and I am disappointed in that. Very, very disappointed in that. Okay. But yeah, you came back down. Did find buyers in the golden pocket there, but as you can see, guys, it is definitely waiting on this earnings for a move. You don't know what's going to happen until earnings happens. You really don't, because as you can see, it's in a bearish trend. Okay, until earnings comes and maybe pops you above $35.99, you got nothing to be really bullish over here in CLH. Above $35.99, you come up here to $40. It looks so freaking likely that you were going to happen here, and then you consolidate, and then you had this day, and you still just fell freaking flat. Thing's a piece of garbage. Don't even pay attention to it until after earnings. You could, come on, man. Go back to the beginning. We covered all the indices at the beginning, guys. When I do the live streams, they are pretty much the same exact things as the video, except I can interact with you guys. I don't have to put together a thumbnail or do any editing or anything, which I don't edit my videos. I just kind of, I render them and then post them, and then I create a thumbnail, and then, it's a pretty raw video there. But yeah, guys, if you have a ticker and I'm not covering it, just know it is definitely already in the video. Just scroll back. All right. So there's that. But I think that is about it, guys. I did already go over Upstart. Upstart looks really good over here. You're in this bull flag. It's looking juicy. I said I'd cover SoFi over here. I saw that one. Queuing up for a breakout. Week chart I know is already really strong over here. You literally got bought up off of your earnings sell there. I think this thing is going to break 1170, and I think you're going to start having this larger push up to this level right here. Let's put on the magnet right there. All right, 1356 incoming, and above there, probably going to start pushing, 15, 16, 17 bucks around there. Love you, man. Love you, Thick Rick. Day one. Hey, man. Appreciate you. We literally on this channel, we used to only make Palantir videos. I remember that was the day. And, PLTR took a lot more time than I ever thought possible to make it to a new all-time high, as you could see, but I remember over here on this dip, this is when we had a Palantir freaking army. The first 1,000 subs were pretty much all Palantirians, and we made Palantir videos, and we made fundamental deep dive videos. I have taken them down. My face were in those videos. I had long hair at the time, I believe. you know, maybe if you go all the way back, I'm pretty sure I got them all privated. But yeah, guys, we used to just pretty much do fundamental analysis here on this channel. I don't pay attention to the fundamentals anymore, but there was a time in the stock market where I just wanted to find the cigarette butts, and I got excited about some, and I'd make videos about them. That was that. Appreciate you, you McCar guy. Oh, I know who you are, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Keep your politics out of your stock business. Yeah, honestly, dude, I don't even like bringing it up. People just get annoyed at it. GME, we'll go over GME, we'll go over DJT. You know, I just see people want to share their opinions on Twitter. I will gladly, you know, stick it to you. If you come out me with something stupid, I'm going to point out that it's really stupid. I don't want to call anybody names, call anybody stupid people, because again, you know, I got family members that have opposing views, and I know for a fact these are smart people, maybe even smarter than me. But you know, at the end of the day, they still do end up, you know, believing what the media is, you know, shoving down their throat. And I understand that. I understand that is literally the machine of the media. I have the same thing happen to me with the opposing side of these people, and you know, it shapes my opinions, and I recognize that. So there's that. If you missed it, just go back and you can go see it. But we will continue going over these ticker requests over here. DJT, guys, how are we looking? I mean, don't ask me to do technical analysis on this thing. If he gets elected, go up. If he gets not elected, this thing dumps down to a new low. You're going to see this thing at $10 within a few days. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I really do try and keep that positive attitude. You know, I recently wanted to delete my YouTube app to where it lets me see all the comments that come in. I wanted to delete that. I wanted to delete Twitter for a little bit, because honestly, I was just feeling like, you know, a political, emotional mess, because, you know, I was seeing that I was just arguing with people. I'm like, what am I freaking doing? So I do appreciate that. I'm trying to stay grounded throughout all of this, and, you know, overall just build up me as a person. And you know, that is the goal here. All right, but DJT, it either goes to $10 if he loses, or it's probably going to pump up to $50 again, and we'll see it go. All right, but I'm also going to say on DJT, don't you dare try playing options on this. Don't you freaking dare. I don't even care if he gets elected. It's not even going to be worth it. You can get the 100 strike right now, and it's still hundreds of dollars. It makes absolutely no sense. They're pricing an absolute massive move here. You have no reason to... Yeah, dude, Twitter, that algorithm definitely shoves my opinions, the extremes down my mind. All right, my mental throat there. That is definitely what happens there, and I think that's pretty much everyone. I do support the whole Elon free speech platform. I do think if Kamala gets elected, she's going to literally have government regulation over Twitter. We've already seen her say that he needs government regulation. So if she does get into power, I'm not saying the president could do everything, but you know, you're gonna definitely have forces that are right now trying to do things just a lot worse. And yeah, if the other person wins, it's not gonna be like that. I appreciate Twitter, and I appreciate that it literally is the only free speech platform. You can say whatever you want as long as it's not very vulgar. Like, you can literally share your opinion, whereas you're going to get shadow banned on any other platform. Like, there are platforms supporting Democrats, opposing view of Elon, with hundreds of thousands and some with millions of followers over there. That is proof of free speech. That is proof of what he's done. Okay? The fact that they still get engagement, it's proof that, you know, he is supporting the free speech cause. And I don't want to bring politics into any of my stock stuff. But I'll definitely just say it's facts. It's proof. It's already been proven that he supports the free speech platform, and anyone going against him just doesn't support the free speech. It's literally that. It is that. You have Democrats and Republicans with millions of followers on there. It's not a one-sided platform. All right. Yes, the algorithm may shove things down your throat to, you know, make you just kind of get to the extremes of your opinions. Yes, I agree there. 110%. I mean, it's so proof is in the pudding. It's a free speech platform, and yet you have, you know, Hillary Clinton. I think it was Hillary Clinton going on, and she was saying that, you know, he needs to take responsibility for what his users are posting. Are you kidding me? It's not his fault. He's just supporting free speech. And then you have, you know, Kamala Harris. I saw a video of saying there needs to be regulations around these social media platforms. She's clearly talking about Elon Twitter, because, you know, Instagram has already been proven to do that. You know, I keep seeing these stats where, you know, all of the the news is pretty much doing, 80% bad Republican and 90% good, Democrat, like all the stuff they're saying about it. And I see it. It's very true. And that's why people have these opinions. We're not going to talk about that stuff anymore, guys. All right. GME, we're going to go over that one. We're going to get out of here. Yes, I did used to have like Justin Bieber looking hair. I had nice flow. Actually, you know what? I had like curly hair. I'm not going to call it Justin Bieber hair. When I was a kid, I had Justin Bieber hair. But when I made this channel, I definitely had like this nice curly hair. I was going for this, like, I don't care about what I look like. I'm just going to put my head down and get rich. And for a little bit, I did do that. I did not keep that money at all, but I felt like the man. I was pretty ugly looking. I wasn't ugly, but I didn't care how I looked at all. And I always like wanted people to think I was stupid and like this greaseball stoner or whatever you want to call me because I got this long hair. But in reality, I'm not. I wasn't. And, they wouldn't know it, but I was going to have much more money than them. And that's kind of what I was going for with the whole, hair thing. I just didn't cut my hair for like, a year and a half. I was just like, okay, I'm going to get rich and I'm going to look like this. And then no one's going to know I'm rich. I'm going to get to walk around these streets and, people can... I'm going to know people are looking at me one way, but they don't even know. And that was giving me excitement. I remember it. And, if I do get rich, I'll definitely will be eventually. But, if I get rich out of nowhere, yeah, I'm probably not going to grow my hair back out again and take that approach. That was kind of just kid me wanting to, stick it to all the haters, I guess. But now, you know what? No, I guess that's not how that be. But yeah, free speech has to happen, guys, and it's pretty much proven that it is not happening anywhere but X. It's not. It's been proven. And I posted a video the other day on little kids getting trafficked. Like, it's literally proven, and the people who work there are saying it's happening. And like, the only reason it's not being spoken about and nothing happens is because the current political party would have backlash from it. Literally, they say it in the video. What do I get on a comment? Someone shitting on Trump. Like, that is stupid. I am talking about children being trafficked, and you're going to now shit on the orange man. Get real. You're an idiot for doing that. But again, this is, this is why I don't like talking politics, all right? I'll get sucked into it too. I'm not even the most educated on it. I just see certain things happening. I'm like, this isn't right. This is not right. I don't care about your policies. I'm just pointing out things are not right currently. And I think they're probably going to get worse or stay the same, which I don't think is okay. Kids should not be trafficked. There you go. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I think we went over all of the, tickets requested. I've seen 4 different people request Goog now. Guys, we definitely went over Goog earlier. But yeah, you are finding buyers right here at the 0.618 fib, as well as your break and retest level. You just had, a lot of consolidation here. I think it was 3 months, 3 months of consolidation. And, just this range alone, you're stuck in this range for 40 days. All right. That's 30 trading sessions about. I doubt you're going to stay out of the trading range you just broke out of in this very impulsive manner. I doubt you're going to stay out of it only for 5 trading sessions. I think Goog has a lot more upside. I think Goog is going to be running back up to 175.91. Wait. Gotcha. Oh, wait is not a ticker. You were saying, can I do? Wait. Save right now. Spirit Airlines, guys, you are getting bought up here. Yes, that is what I was thinking as well. That's funny. But yeah, you are getting bought up right here. Your short-term moving averages here. Momentum, as you see, it was to the downside for a very long time. Well, what happened? You had this impulsive move. That's kind of this how I see the Goog chart. All right, you clearly see momentum is either stalling or it's to the downside, and then you bounce up above it, and then you are finding buyers. That is the difference here. You cannot hold above it for more than a few trading sessions here for a very long time. And what happens now? I think you're in this stage right here where you're finding buyers. I think you are going to be going, we're going to say, yeah, maybe you get a 20 to 30% move from here. Not, oh, look at that. That would be just pushing back up the high. This thing has died, fallen off a cliff, guys. Oh my God. How's AAL doing? I don't cover the airlines over here, but I think AAL over here is probably going to be the best one, considering we just saw Spirit Airlines, and then Boeing is just a piece of garbage. All right, so this is the one that, really is having the action over there. Let's look at it on the monthly chart. Oh, you're getting ready to bust a move, guys. You're definitely getting ready to bust a move over here on AAL. So this is one that I would say let's put on the radar here. We're going to wait for a breakout. We have a larger time frame breakout loading here. That means we're probably going to get some setups on the daily time frame. I am actually going to add this to my watch list right now just so we could pay attention to it. All right, FSLR. I gotta end it so more ticker requests stop coming in. But over here, FSLR, guys, how we looking? You are, you're looking like you want to continue pushing over here. The level that stands out to me is going to be right there, 234.79, and that is going to line with your golden pocket. So expect sellers there if you hit it. All right, get above yesterday's high, which was it's right here, 221.20. Get above there. You probably are going to push up to 230 and stall out in the golden pocket. I would probably think something like this is going to happen. Maybe you put in either a flag or you break down from here. We don't really know, but it's probably going to go something like that. As we see, this thing has made just kind of massive moves before. It doesn't have to stall out with the golden pocket, as we could see right here. You did for a little bit. You see sellers started stepping in, and then you kind of rocketed. So that's kind of what I'm pointing at in a bull flag. I think you probably do start flagging out somewhere over here. Maybe don't actually. That would be too easy if you just come back over here. You probably start flagging out here. You got a little bit of that going on, and then boom, there you go. So that's how I'd be seeing FSLR. I think it's bullish for the time being. Pull back to over here would be your break and retest. You already did get that today, though. 206.80 break and retest, and you are, now decently higher there. So I think you're probably going to continue higher from here up into that golden pocket. LLY, go back in the video. We did watch it over there. If it was 30%, I'll be a millionaire with my current bag. Let's fucking go. What are we talking about? Are we talking about save over here? You got... Oh my gosh, dude. You got 700K over here in save. That's pretty freaking insane. That is cool. That is freaking cool, man. Damn. All right, we'll do Redfin over there. I'm not going to say I would be. I don't have the money, so I can't even speak on that. All right. Maybe you're making better decisions than me out here. So I'm not going to speak on that at all. Redfin over here, it is looking good. I actually posted about this. I got the ticker on. I remember I posted this chart over here not too long ago. I think it was somewhere over here. We were looking for the retest. But I definitely labeled the wrong ticker on Twitter and had to go back and correct myself. I see a bull flag over here. Some sort of flag-like manner. That is what I'm seeing over here. I hate the magnet tool. I really do sometimes. But you just had a fresh breakout from that falling wedge, bull flag. It's not a bull flag. It's like a pennant over here. But, the important thing over here was going to be the weekly chart. You are finding buyers right here at the weekly 21. As you can see, this is kind of where you held the line over here. But, important thing is you popped above this high, came back for the retest. It does look like buyers are defending that so far. And monthly chart does not look bad at all. It does look like, the tide is starting to turn over here. So I like it. I like Redfin. I think you're probably going to come back up and at least test, 1148 up there. And if you can get above there, that's when I think you have a shot at, moving to 1193 really quick up there. And then we're going to use that level right there. And that would align with golden pockets. I do think you're coming back up to the highs, though. I'm just letting you know. I think you're going to push back up to this high. But, if you're a short-term trader, above 1148, this is a nice little, move for you to play right there on weeklies. There you go. And then above there, I think it would probably, get above 1148 and then 1193. I think you probably have a quick move up here to, 1350-ish in the short term. All right, guys, I am going to end it there. SFM, I see I did not get to all the ticker requests. I'm sorry, guys. They just keep coming in. And yeah, this is going longer than I expected here. This is longer than an actual video. I thought it was going to be like 10 minutes here. It's 48 minutes. This thing very clearly is, bullish momentum over here. It's not coming down anytime soon unless you start really seeing this thing break down. But until that happens, you could even see it's been riding this daily 9 for quite some time here. And it's also found buyers off of the daily 21 EMA there. So just and also, guys, proof is in the pudding. This is exactly why I watch the, daily 21 now, as well as the daily 9 for my short-term momentum. Because as you can see, if something has the short-term momentum, it keeps getting bought up at these things. All right. So, you know, until these things break, you have no reason to get bearish here. Until you really start coming down here, get under, you know, 120-ish, you have no reason to get bearish here. This thing probably is going to continue higher. Pullbacks are buying opportunities. With that being said, appreciate you guys. I really do. If you're not already on the Twitter, go over the Twitter. I'll post some charts, and, you know, we'll have some good times. All right. Appreciate